remember Adam said that we need a jingle. Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Praise the Pickle podcast.
Woo!
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 Oh yeah. So we are back. It's 2020. This is the start of a new year.
New decade.
A new decade, and a new
A
era
new
for Praise
and
the
new.
Pickle. A new era for Praise the Pickle. Thank you. I am your host, Mr. Benjamin Watts. With me, to my right, literally, I have Mr. Kevin Hart.
Hey, it's me.
That's right, he's
I'm
here.
here.
He's at my yard. He's coaching. And to my left, I have Mr. Daniel Watts.
Wagwan.
What to?
I love it. He always brings the enthusiasm to his podcast every single time.
It takes him 10 minutes or so to just
It does,
to
yeah.
pick up the
It's got a
enthusiasm.
warm
It's fine.
Yeah.
So I'll create the enthusiasm now. Right, first question for you two. I don't care how you are. All right,
Wow,
first
How are
question.
you?
I'm good, thank you. Wow, Kevin actually asked how I am.
That
What?
was my job. How are you?
I have to do it in person, Dan, otherwise you'll hit me.
Oh.
All right, here it is. The question that I'm proposing to you two. What game are you most excited for 2020?
Cyberpunk.
All right, that was a quick answer from Dan there. Cyberpunk. Why are you excited for Cyberpunk, Dan?
Because it's CD Projekt and it's going to be the best game of our generation.
I mean, this tone down your
Yeah, a little
expectations
bit.
a little bit, yeah.
No, it's CD Projekt. They made The Witcher 3, which everybody loves. And this is going to be their biggest, most ambitious game yet.
Yeah, but you're saying it's the best game of our generation. But like Ghost Recon Breakpoint came out last year, so
Wow. You better hope none of those guys are listening to this. They will hunt you down.
Who?
Yeah, Cyberpunk for sure.
All right, cool. Kevin?
I'm going to go a bit of a different one. Well, it's not different,
God, you say FIFA 21. We're done.
but... Last of Us 2. I didn't
Cool.
actually play the first one, but I watched it and it was maybe really good. So I can only imagine. I'm getting into them story kind of things as well.
Yes, Kevin.
So I think it's more of a. I think I'll be.
Yeah, you're looking forward to playing it on your Xbox, yeah?
Is it only? Oh, it's only PS4, isn't it? So I'm not looking forward to that game. It's going to be terrible, overrated.
Yeah. Spoken like a true Xbox fanboy.
Oh. Wow, that's a real.
Yeah, well, you can play around there if you want. Okay, cool.
What about you?
What about you, Ben?
I didn't really think about my own answer. Can I say one that I think is coming out this year, but it isn't confirmed? Hollow Knight Silk Song is what I'm...
Oh, that's coming out like soon. That's definitely out this year.
I don't know if it is. It hasn't been announced yet.
I get the impression it's going to be like before summer.
I mean, that would be amazing. But that's what... Yeah, I mean, the first one was...
Well, that's your most anticipated above like Resi 3 and Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2 hasn't been confirmed yet, has it?
I think it's... People are pretty certain it's this year. Like they'll be surprised if it's not.
Wait, Resi 3 is this year?
Resi 3's this year, yeah.
Is
April.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
I know.
It's
mad,
It's
isn't
going to be a mad year for games. We're going to
this
get
year's
so many good games.
In reality, you look at last year and it was a bit slow. There wasn't...
last year was alright.
I don't know, like, you look at 2017, you've got, like, Breath of the Wild and God of War and all that jazz. You know, just, like, proper, like,
What year?
decade,
Oh,
like, amazing games of the decade sort of thing.
Yeah, but last year we had Control.
So
Dan, you have to play that game. I need you to play it so you can understand. It has to happen.
This morning I was watching a lot of like this one YouTube channel done like a lot of top 10 things. They did the top 10 games. Well, they called it the top 10 games, but I think they just went through the different genres of games and stuff. Control won it a few times, especially and because they had like a community vote, and they like their YouTube channel vote, and for visuals, it was voted as the best. But a lot of the games that were voted initially on like the main vote, yeah, they didn't add that into there because I guess a lot of people don't play indie games and stuff, do they? It's more of a
and it's just Control is just terrible. I'll never understand it.
And they had the top 10 games that they think or like the games will be coming out next year. They're most looking forward to.
What did they say?
So Cyberpunk was the one for everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was, I can't remember that one, but they didn't put The Last of Us in it as like one of the options, which I thought was mental.
That's bizarre. I mean, I'm pretty sure unanimously it's like Cyberpunk is the game that everyone's most excited for, and then Last of Us 2. I think those two are probably the most hypiest ones, I imagine. But yeah, anyway, it's going to be a dope year for games. So there's a hell of a lot coming out this year, including 2 new consoles. So, which is very exciting. I'm also looking forward to seeing what Nintendo.
Potentially 3.
Is that what you were going to say about Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Nintendo's not response, but like their next move because
they've already said though, like Sony have said quite openly that they don't compete with Nintendo because Nintendo is so good for getting people into gaming, and they have no desire to go head to head with them. So they might not respond at all, and that would be totally fine.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's about time they do something. Like, even if it's just
Not
a Switch
really.
Pro.
They brought out a revised Switch last year.
Yeah, but okay. Well, when you say revised Switch, it's just better battery life.
I don't get why they need another one. No, I mean it's a perfectly good console.
Yeah, but it is very behind in terms of tech now.
Really,
I swear
it only came out a few years ago.
No. Let's get to that because we'll talk about that in the news a bit because that's a big thing right now.
Cool. All right. So let's just crack straight on with the feedback.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah. How much did everyone love the Game of the Year show, Kev?
Well, we have a little bit. We'll start with. We had a response on YouTube, our very first YouTube comment.
Oh yeah!
Wow. So maybe we're going to be YouTube famous soon.
Maybe.
So get in there now, so we know who you are.
Yeah.
And
join the 100 mil club.
From the original SJW on our Game of the Year podcast one, he
What's
commented.
SJW?
Anyone know?
Social Justice Warrior.
Yeah. Social Justice Warrior. What's
name. SJW?
He's the original one as well. He said No Man's Sky was better than Resident Evil.
I mean, it was on the Game of the Year 2019 episode. Trying to get that out there that No Man's Sky did not come out in 2019, but
I now know exactly who this is.
Yep. So
No Man's Sky is the only game that he's played this year from the sounds of it.
Yep. Yeah, and think about it, the name's quite clever when you think about it.
What, SJW?
Yeah, but everyone, SJW, Social Justice Warrior, yeah.
Yeah.
But Sam's initials.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I just thought it was quite.
What's his middle name?
I thought I wasn't allowed to do full names, Kev.
It's not a full name; it's a middle name.
Yeah, but that alludes more to his full name, doesn't it?
Tell me after.
I'll tell you after. Don't worry. I'll put in a little post-it for you.
And
yes, continue.
We have a comment from the wife of the man sitting next to me, Charlotte.
Charlotte.
On an Instagram post, we asked it was something to do with the Game of the Year. Maybe asking what their Game of the Year was.
That's what sorry. And when we put up our nominations, we asked what the public's votes would be for Game of the Year.
And she said Gris. It was the most beautiful, moving, emotional game. The art style and music is amazing. The story is fantastic. Made me feel so many things. Which I guess
agree.
It kind of sounds like it sums up what the game was.
Yeah, pretty much.
The old sob story.
I agree with her completely.
You like it?
Yeah. I mean, Gris was amazing.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it was our top 2, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, but we were never going to get it to top 1 because Kevin is a loser. So.
I don't know what to say. And we also got bit of feedback from someone, don't know who exactly, but they said that they listened to the Game of the Year podcast and they enjoyed it so much that they'll probably listen in every week, which is nice. And it's nice to know that it's almost like a clickbait situation where, you know, people say, oh, Game of the Year, this, you know, bit of a special episode, let's listen to it. And then that brings people in. So it's nice to know that these special episodes, they can almost bring in a different audience.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
We should do a Game of the Year show every week.
Yeah, we could do it for the whole year. Just do like best
Game of
arcade
week 1,
game of
Game
the
of
year.
week 2, Game of week 3.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
And we have, of course, the one and only, the main jam being... Oh, still up. Good. The happy Pickle.
She's back.
Our number one fan.
She's number one.
So, she says, hi Pickles. Hello.
Hello.
Enjoyed the last couple of weeks listening to both podcasts. Every time I listen to Dan talking about the games he has played, I have a crazy image of him wildly stabbing a huge packet of cheese puffs.
Pretty accurate.
It still baffles me that was your answer to it. It wasn't. Me and Kevin's like some fruit, yeah. That's just like cheese puffs with a fork.
Cheese puffs on a stick. This is far more fun than popping grapes. Yeah, man, grapes are fun.
I want some grapes now.
Grapes would be good.
What about grapes and cheese puffs?
Yes.
Yes, the perfect combo.
I think you're all very accommodating in the way you decided upon your game of the year, and it seems like the best game won.
No, but...
It's... Maybe.
It's a bit of a 50-50. I mean, at the end of the day, it is all opinions, and I guess we kind of had to come up with a Pickle podcast opinion.
Yeah, that.
Pickle podcast opinion.
if it was down to votes simply, I think Gris would have won, because I probably would have voted for Gris. But
you think that's actually the better game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do. But it's not. It's we wanted a unanimous opinion between the three of us, so Resi 2 was the one.
I'm excited to tell you that I was lucky to be given a Sega Mega Drive for Christmas.
Hey.
Nice.
Of course, the first game...
the mini one, I presume. I
don't know, just a Sega Mega Drive for Christmas. Of course, the first game I played was Ghouls and Ghosts, and it was brilliant.
Good.
I was challenged to another game by the two young men in my household. I can't remember the name, but it involved picking a dubious-looking character and having a wrestling about. Each character had their own abilities. This is not the sort of game I would normally play, as it involves fighting, but the characters were so unrealistic that it was not possible to get upset about it. Anyway, I'm quite sure that the two lads thought they would slaughter me. Instead, I beat them into the ground. So good.
I wonder if it was like Streets of Rage or Mortal Kombat or something.
It may be something like that.
But
different characters with different abilities and a fighting game. It almost sounds like Injustice.
Super Smash Bros.
Super Smash
on the Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah. Classic.
I said I tried playing Echo the Dolphin, which was rubbish. I couldn't get anywhere. Just swam around sending sonic waves at everyone, trying to make something happen.
Man, Poor Echo.
Has anyone played Echo the Dolphin?
Never heard of it.
Dan?
No, the PlayStation version was better because it was like actually 3D. But she's
dolphin.
right. It is a bit of a naff game. You don't really do anything.
It just sounds like you swim as a dolphin. So, anyway, I don't have a question this week, but I do have a suggestion.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
Kevin, we're too
much.
It's kind of Don't touch my leg.
Sorry.
Stop.
How about every week you recommend a game of different genres on different mediums for listeners to play? Not too much detail and not any of the big games you play, but something a bit different that people may not have heard of. For example, a smash and shoot, or whatever you call it. Game.
A what?
I've never heard of that genre in my life. A slash and
loot and
shoot?
Don't you mean loot and shoot?
I don't know.
Maybe.
What's a smash and shoot game? Does she
I
have a
don't know,
smash
but
and
it-
shoot game recommendation?
Would
Because I want to know what that genre is.
Yeah, I want to play a smash and shoot game.
A puzzle game and a challenge game. Just an idea. Looking forward to listening on Monday. Happy Pickle.
I like this idea. I
Oh.
was. She said it, and I was like, "Well, we have our game of the month already." But then I was like, if every, you know how you got YouTube channels that literally just do like Kevin said, like the top 10 sections and you know, game recommendations, avoid, buy, rents, and things like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So basically every week, just we take turns and we pick one game each week, just as a recommendation for people to play. Like, there's no obligation for us to play it, if that makes sense. Like, we don't have to play it along with people or anything. It's just literally recommendations once a week. I quite like the idea personally. But what do you think, Dan?
Good.
Yeah. I do as well. I think it's a cool idea. I think we should just try it.
And
see
we'll
how
do
it
it.
goes.
We'll do it towards the start. So we can start with our first one today. Do you want me to go in the deep end?
Go for it, man.
Yeah, go on in
Dip
if you
your
got one
toes
in
in.
mind.
All right, I'm
Go for
gonna recommend. So I am gonna recommend a game called.
Echo the Dolphin.
Okay, I'm gonna recommend a game for the PC, and in fact, it's on everything, every console and PC. I've spoken about it before on the podcast called Detention,
Oh,
and it's like almost like a visual novel set in like an Asian country, Indonesia or something maybe, and with it's just a really interesting like horror style game with like Silent Hill style puzzle aspects and stuff, and it's like super cheap and it's really interesting for like a 2 or 3 hour playthrough, and yeah, go for that, guys. That's your recommendation of the week, and let us know if you
Yeah, go
If you
for
play it.
Detention. Is it a quick long game? Short
no
game?
2-3 hours max.
2-3 hours. There you
Yeah.
go. Everyone, do it.
Every single person
All
out
you
there has 2 or
humans.
3 hours spare. I know you do, so no excuses, alright? That's our game
Cool.
of the week.
I like that.
Mm,
It's pretty obscure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Good. Is that it?
I believe so.
Alright, I can see Kevin's got his
I've got my little
his little thing ready. So,
praise the pickle poem.
Kevin,
Mm.
if
So weird in person doing this. You can get
if
closer to the mic again.
people want to you know, just show their appreciation for us, and you know, maybe share their thoughts on the game of the week, you know, the recommendation of the week, or you know, maybe they could tell us how they're getting on with Dark Souls 3, or yeah, something like that. How would they do it?
They would. Okay. Me and Ben were gonna go for a little rap today, but then as I started writing it, it sounded more like a poem. Felt like a poem in my head.
It's got a poem flow.
Yeah. Also, I don't think I can handle the pressure.
Alright, I'll do the beatboxing. I'm ready.
So. Oh, I've already misspelled it. Alright. Everybody grab your drinks. Let's toast to a new year. Even you,
Yeah.
Steve, holding that beer. This year I want lots of interaction. Whoa, look over there, Ben. That's a distraction. Now for the bit everyone needs to get their teeth into. I want everyone who is listening to message, even if you live in an igloo. To get in contact with us, listen now. Search Praise the Pickle on all platforms is how. Except on, of course, Instagram, which is some random dudes. Feel free to message him. Just don't be rude. Put podcast on the end to find us on Instagram. That's all you need. I'm out. Wham bam shabam.
Wham bam shabam.
It actually said slab, but I'm not sure. But
Out with a bang for sure.
That was
Love
beautiful, man.
that's alright.
I reckon
Yeah,
that would have been
that
good
was-
with a beat. Do you want to try it with a beat?
You know what? Put a bit over it.
Okay. Do you know how much work that is with your
Okay,
poor
alright. Do
flow?
you know what? Try it.
Right.
I would.
Wait,
Yeah.
say the first line. Say it as you would say it.
Everybody grab your drinks. Let's toast to a new year.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody grab your drinks. Let's toast to a new year. Even you, Steve, holding your beer. This year I want lots of interaction. Whoa, look over there, Ben. That's a distraction. Now for a bit, everyone needs to get the teeth in too. I want everyone to listen to the message, even if you live in an igloo. To get in contact with us, listen now. Search Pray to Pickle on all platforms is how. Oh, I've lost it.
Oh,
I lost it.
Oh my god. That was beautiful. Man.
That was a little bit. It was so good there, wasn't it?
Yeah. You paused at the right time.
Yeah, wow, I'm impressed.
You know what, we're getting there. You know, little by little. We're halfway through
every game of the month one we need to do that, I think, because we're all together.
Oh yeah, that'd be yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Kev. Appreciate it.
It's alright.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
very artistic.
For those that aren't into the hip hop game, you know, just I haven't got their MC ears on.
Can't keep up
with the mad flow. Then how do they do it?
They should start listening to a bit more rap.
Yeah.
And that way I won't have to do this every single week.
Yeah, I recommend Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Wait, maybe he could be a guest. Yeah. So it's very simple. Pray to Pickle podcast on every platform except from Instagram, which is Pray to Pickle podcast. Just search it up. You'll find us. We have a little emblem, little shield with a dude on it with a sword and a pickle, of course. Or if you want to email us, like the Happy Pickler loves to do, it's praytopicklepodcast@gmail.com.
Cool, thank you. And please review and rate us on iTunes, because it helps us get the message, get the good word out, you know. And we really appreciate everyone that's done it so far, and really appreciate people that are going to do it. So thank you.
Let's start this new year with a bang, man.
Yeah, I want to see 100 new ratings by next week. All right. Okay, if we don't get that, then the podcast's finished.
Even if we don't even have 100 people even listening. Just creating fake accounts.
Let's crack on with the news.
Thank you. My name is Daniel. I will be hosting the news today, just like I do every week.
Thank you, Daniel.
This is a weird one. Go on, Kev.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, my name's Dan, and I'm hosting the news.
Woo-woo.
And I'm excited to be here.
Just change his accent. It's got American.
Beautiful.
It's a weird one because we haven't done a normal episode for like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like not much has happened in 3 weeks. A few things have happened.
Christmas period, and there's never really that much.
Santa Claus, everyone getting new presents. All the online gamers that are really hardcore in their games actually love it because they get to beat the noobs.
Yes, that's a good point actually. Logging in January is a good time to level up.
There's a term, isn't
it? Yeah, there is a term.
Noob stomping, pub stomping,
Christmas noobs, Christmas.
I can't remember what it is.
I know they have like a Steam sale stomp or something like that.
Steam sale stomp.
I like that.
Anyway, go on down.
So the last time we did this, we spoke about Fallout 76, Bethesda's breakthrough masterpiece of an online game.
Oh yeah, Game of the Year 2019. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think, and hopefully I'm not repeating myself, but I think the last time we spoke about this, the issue was that people had started spawning things into the servers, like NPCs and killing random players and whatnot.
The post-apocalyptic apocalypse.
Exactly, yeah. So it gets even better than that. So players, since the free weekend, have worked out a way to now log into the game and steal items from other players. So imagine you are one of the 7 Fallout 76 players, right? Mm-hmm. And you've gone through all the content, you've done the end game, you've killed all the bosses, you've subjected yourself to all of that to get some of the best items in the game, and then some dude spawns in, teleports next to you, literally lifts the items out of your pockets and runs away. So people are a bit pissed off about this. Bethesda have finally, in the last week or so, I think, decided to start banning people.
Oh, yay.
They believe they've patched the exploit to stop it from happening again. but they have no idea how to restore the items of the people that have been robbed.
God.
So, yeah, people are just a little bit angry. Really.
You know what? It gives people the incentive to go back and play the game all over again. That's why.
Gives people the incentive, the little nudge they needed in the right direction, which is away from Fallout 76. Exactly. Go and play another game, for Christ's sake. Instead of getting annoyed and be like, oh, my items are gone, just go and play anything else. Literally anything. Just leave.
You're giving Bethesda too much respect and love.
Yeah,
They need to understand that they can't just sit around and do nothing, and they need to listen to people and do something with their lives.
Yeah.
Bethesda are a dead company, man. Like, nobody cares about them anymore. Outer Worlds was like the final...
The nail on the coffin, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
It was a bit. It's going to be interesting.
They need to come back
this year. I remember saying at the end of last year, this year is going to be make or break for Bethesda, to be honest. Like, obviously, they have Doom Eternal coming out, which is great, but that's not even made by them, is it? It's
not really.
Published
it's
by
ID,
them,
isn't it? Or id, yeah.
So, but Bethesda themselves need to seriously do something big. Like, I get it, they've always got their ace up the sleeve, isn't they? They've always got the next Elder Scrolls game, which people will inevitably play and love. So,
maybe
they will. No, they will. I mean, Skyrim wasn't even that good of a game. I'm sorry, Skyrim fans. It wasn't. It was not a great game by any means.
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't amazing. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I loved it, but looking back on it as an objective review of the game now would look back at it and say, hold on a minute.
Yeah, hold up.
Well, it might have been a good game when it came out.
Yeah, but then there was nothing revolutionary about it. It was just like a prettier version of Morrowind, which came out, 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's their issue, that they need like a revamp. They need to update their bloody engine or something. Yeah. They need to just branch out of this crappy formula that they've got.
And they're weird glitches as well, man.
Yeah, it's a terrible system. Like, and they said that they updated it for Fallout 76, and looking at their attempt of updating, it's just hilarious. So you got God rays coming through the floor. You've got like the glitchiest things ever, just invisible walls everywhere, and it's just terrible. They need to seriously rejig it.
Cool.
I do wonder how the announcement of what's the new one called? Starfield, is it?
Is that Bethesda?
They've got like a sci-fi thing. They've been working on it for ages.
Oh yeah.
But every time we think we're getting close to some sort of reveal about it, it just goes quiet again because something terrible has happened.
Well, in a way,
I think people suspected that we were going to get some more information about their 2 new games sort of at the end of last year, and then the Outer Worlds came out, and Bethesda just went quiet.
They went dead silent.
I think that's hilarious. They're looking at their game now and going, shit.
That's what we were supposed to be doing for the last 20 years. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be...
Bethesda are dead.
They're not dead yet, because they still have Elder Scrolls. They're not. They still have Elder Scrolls, so they're fine.
Rip Bethesda.
No, man. Like, they've got a new subscription service coming out. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Well, when Cyberpunk comes out, it's gonna set a new bar for RPGs, and Skyrim or 2, whatever it is gonna be absolutely dog.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, say that, but
I don't think it will.
It's not. I don't think it's going to be an amazing game. I just think
people will like it.
Yeah, people for some reason love the Elder Scrolls games as much as they do.
It's a fun game. I think. Well, I've not played it, but it's fun. Yeah, just quite easy going. It's quite a. You know, you can. I mean, you can play whoever you want. I guess it's an RPG type thing, but it's. I don't know.
But I think the issue is is that, like you said, Dan, you're comparing, you're comparing Elder Scrolls to other games of similar veins, yeah, and you've got. Skyrim, which is still being played now. Sorry, I'm just double checking some release dates because this might shut me up. Oh yeah, don't worry, ignore me. So Skyrim did come out in 2011, and the game I was going to compare it to was Witcher 3, which is 2015.
Yeah,
but I mean, but that's what I mean. Witcher 3 has already set a new bar for the fantasy style RPG.
Yeah,
and if the next game is just Skyrim 2, it's just going to flop. In most sane people's eyes, I imagine.
The thing that worries me is you compare Skyrim to games like Oblivion and Morrowind, the prequels in the series that came out years and years before, and the jumps are not even that significant at all. Like they've done
is a jump.
nothing revolutionary. Well, that's what I mean. Morrowind had a better variety of weapons, a more interesting world, more interesting dialogue with people. And that came out when did Morrowind come out?
1990 something.
Which is crazy.
99?
No.
Maybe?
2002.
Ah, okay.
18 years ago. Not it's newer than I thought.
That was 18 years ago, man. That's a long time.
I would argue that it's a better game. It has its flaws, but it's more interesting. And I'm just worried that Bethesda are dead now. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up. They need to start again at this point.
That's what I mean. They need a completely fresh slate. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no.
Which isn't going to happen, is it? They're going to. Fallout 76 has ruined their reputation.
Yeah, but Todd Howard is a hype machine, man.
Yeah, but I feel like they've dug themselves a hole that's too deep by this point.
You have too much.
He's become a meme. He's become like a.
You have too much faith in the video game community, man. Honestly, the gaming community will be raging about something, but it's an atrocity. It's completely outrageous, and then they bring out another game and be like, "Ooh, it's got dragons in it," and no,
that's true.
Like it's
that's true.
Dragons are cool, man. Anything with a dragon in it wins.
That's true.
They are.
Anyway, maybe I'll get it. I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they deserve it at this point. To be honest, they're just getting away with murder at this point.
Well, it's yeah. Well, we'll see. I just like good games, you know. So the other bit of news we've got new game coming out. It's not a very well known game. Some people may have heard of it, you know, in passing, or you know, may have heard somebody talk about it. It's a game called Final Fantasy VII. They're remaking it apparently.
Yeah,
you may have done.
Yeah.
They're remaking it. It's coming out on the PS4. I think it's coming out on other platforms.
I think it is
just the PS4.
I'm sure it's on Xbox as well.
Maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, there's a remake of it coming out, and it looks pretty good. People are saying. Like, we saw some footage of it at EGX in passing. We didn't get a chance to play it, but it looked pretty dope. There's a demo coming out, which everyone's really excited about, because this is, you know, one of the most hyped games of this generation. People are extremely excited. Final Fantasy VII was potentially the favourite of most fans.
Yeah. But it was between 7 and 9, wasn't it? Those were the two most popular ones.
Pretty much. And when they first talked about this game, they announced that they were going to be releasing it as a chapter thing, kind of like Telltale Games do with their games, and people were like, oh no, that's a bit concerning. They're going to have to pay for the game like 4 times. But since then, they've said that each chapter is going to be like a 60-hour game. Like, they're going to be fully fledged and really get into the lore and the background of the 7 universe, which I think is really cool. It means we're not going to have to wait to see what sequel they bring out next. We're just going to get the next chapter of a really significantly good big game, hopefully. So there's a demo come out. We don't know when it's coming out. It could be coming out the same day as the launch of the game, which I think is like March this year.
I think so.
It could come out a week before. It could come out this week. Nobody knows when. But it's
the demo got leaked, didn't it?
Yeah, it's on the store, and data miners have managed to kind of start to pull it apart and whatnot.
Yeah, you know what it's going to be? It's literally going to be that demo, which has just been the only demo for this game. This is the part I find concerning, is that the first gameplay trailer they showed was this bit when you fight the big scorpion watcher thing, yeah?
Yeah.
And then all the gameplay demos at all press events have been that bit, and now
I'm cool with that though.
I know what you mean, but with the idea of the game being in chapters being so ambiguous and it not being, they've never said it's going to be a 60-hour game, and they also haven't said how many chapters it's going to be, and they also haven't said what parts of the game the first one will cover. So we have no idea. Like that could be. I mean, I've played the first disc of it. It's 2 discs, right? Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, it might be more than that.
I've played the first disc anyway, and I don't know how much there is in that, if that makes sense. I'm just concerned that it's not going to be as epic as people think it's going to be. That's my worry. But I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah,
and I'm sure this demo is going to be that bit again. Like I don't even need to play it at this point. I know exactly what the demo's like.
Oh, the demo will be the first boss and the escape from the facility.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is kind of a pinnacle moment in gaming, which is pretty cool because when people first played that, it was quite revolutionary.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it's cool. I think it's going to be a big deal. I think they have said they're going to be big chapters, like 40 to 60 hours and stuff.
I just can't see how they're going to pad it out that much. Like,
well, it's a huge world, and if you think about like some of the towns and cities that you go to in the original, there's so many different characters there, and a lot of just walking around and exploring. And if this is a proper RPG with all these beautiful visuals, then I feel like I'm going to want to do that. I'm going to want to walk around and look at the environments and talk to the NPCs and maybe do some side quests and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm just worried because I'm worried about how far away from 7 they're going to have, like the original, they're going to have to go to pad that much into it. Like, cause if you're saying each chapter's going to be 60 hours long, even if they do 2 chapters, a 120-hour game, you're going to need a heck of a lot of environments. And in the original, there wasn't that many environments. So, like, do you know what I mean? Is it going to be the same game? I don't think so.
It might just be 2 chapters.
They haven't said how many. Yeah. No, it could be. But still, if you're saying 60 hours per chapter, that's 120 hours. That's a long game. Like, really long.
The first game, for a PlayStation 1 game, was like 60 hours.
Yeah, but why do they call it a remake if it's not going to be a remake of it?
But it is a remake of it. It's like a
it's not.
like Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah, but Resident Evil 2, they took the old game and they made it better, and did they make it longer?
Don't know.
They took the gist of it, but I wouldn't understand why they would make this game any different like that. What's the point of calling it a remake? Why not call it something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's still the same story, the same characters, the same encounters.
I'm just a little bit worried. I'm sorry.
You know what? You're the opposite end of the spectrum. Some people have got to be the optimistic. You have to be the one that has to make sure reassures people to think. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
There are.
He just doesn't like to be disappointed.
Cyberpunk's going to be shit. Just.
We know it's not.
Yeah, that's the one game where I can safely say it's not going to be bad. Could you imagine if Cyberpunk was a flop though? That would be like the funniest thing ever.
No, it wouldn't. I would cry and stop playing video games.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Next news story.
What should we do next? Let's have a flick through these. Oh, let's talk about Pokemons. Everyone loves Pokemons.
Not everyone loved the new one.
I know. This is why this is really funny.
Oh.
So there was a Pokemon Direct, which is basically like a Nintendo Direct but purely for Pokemon the other day.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No. I didn't even know there was one.
No.
Okay. So I think it was the first ever one, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Now, cast your minds back to a couple of months ago, the start of November. We were talking about the new Pokemon games and how all of these different things were missing. You know, we had like hundreds and hundreds of Pokemon missing. We had weird graphical issues. We had one open, what do they call it? The wild area. So most of the game, the camera is locked and you can run around sort of down strict paths with a fixed camera. And then there's this one kind of interjoining open landscape where you can turn the camera around and run around freely and see Pokemon exploring.
Yeah.
People are a bit pissed off, basically, because there's so much stuff missing. So Pokemon Direct had 2 announcements. One of them was a new Mystery Dungeon game, which actually looks kind of cool. I think it's going to be
Mystery Dungeon DX, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And there's a demo out for that now. So, you know, if you're into that sort of thing, check it out. Your save data carries over and all that.
No.
Oh man, this Pokemon like I can't even remember what because I know they were very different from normal Pokemon games, but
yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah,
what
you basically ran around as a Pokemon instead of as a trainer, and you had like a little party, and it was turn based.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was more like a little RPG, wasn't it?
Ran around the squirrel.
Felt more RPG-esque, I guess.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And then the second announcement was
a squirrel.
There were 2 announcements. It was 20 minutes long. This thing, Mystery Dungeon, took up about 4 minutes. The rest of the 16 minutes remaining, or whatever it was the DLC pass for the Pokemon Sword and Shield series.
Yay!
So, in this DLC pass, there is quite a lot of really cool stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'd lost my interest in Pokemon by this point because I thought it was a bit shit and a bit bare and a bit lacking, and there wasn't really much to do, and there was loads of stuff missing.
Tone, Jesus.
Well, it slowly got to me. I mean, when I first got it, I was like, this is pretty cool. And then when we last spoke about it on the podcast, I was like, maybe a 6 out of 10. Now it's kind of resting at a 3 or 4.
Oh, God.
What's
it going to be next week? Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. But this new DLC looks dope, right? So there's these 2 massive new areas. There's 2 DLCs. You think you pay once and you get one at the spring this year and one later on in the year or something.
Yeah.
And you've got these 2 really beautiful looking brand new regions. They've brought back hundreds of Pokemon, like over 200 Pokemon, tons of legendaries in their new Galarian forms, which look awesome. They've just brought so much content into the game. All these different cosmetic ways you can upgrade your character. You've got all these different types of bikes you can get, which plays a big part in the game. The whole environment is all like the wild area where you can run around freely and turn the camera around like we all thought the game was going to be in the first place. Basically, it looks really good. So the internet is kind of torn in two with this. They're like, this looks really, really good, and I really want to play it, and this is what Pokemon should have been. And the other half of the internet are saying, yes, this is what Pokemon should have been.
Yeah,
why are we paying for
I feel
this?
like half of what they're bringing in, for example, the Pokemon, is like it should have been in the original game, and you're almost trying to rectify yourself and get people back onto the bandwagon by saying
you're charging them for it.
Yeah.
If they were remorseful and they were saying, look, we couldn't finish this in time because of the publishing deals that we had, and we needed to hit the release date, and we had to. But they literally said at one point that we had to pull out a load of Pokemon because we didn't have time to finish them all. If they'd said, look, we're really sorry about that. Here's some free DLC, or like for a tenner, you can have 2, dope DLC packages. No, they're charging 30 quid for it.
30 quid.
And you have to
30 quid.
Yeah,
that's like a whole game.
Bearing in mind, there's a sword version and a shield version.
27, isn't it? £27.
Sorry, $30, 27 quid. Yeah.
That's
they're pushing the boat out of that one, man. Like 20 quid in my shop.
It's so dumb because they have so much money already, right? And this is one of the first Pokemon games. In fact, I think it is the first Pokemon, like mainline Pokemon game that hasn't been reviewed very well.
Yeah.
And to redeem themselves, all they needed to do was release this as a free package.
Or even like £5 or £10 or something.
Yeah,
something small.
Something like that. Do you know what it reminds me of? Right, is No Man's Sky. Could you imagine if No Man's Sky released their game, got all that reviews and stuff, and then turned around and said, "Don't worry, guys, we're bringing in all those things that we promised you before, but it's going to be 28 quid." Like, everyone would be outraged. They'd be like, "Well, no, you can't. No, what? No." Obviously, it's a bit different because Sean Howard went around and said they could do all these things, and you can. It was really funny. But
Sean Howard, who's
Sean Murray?
Sean Murray, yeah.
Sean Howard, who the hell was that?
I
think I mixed it with Todd Howard.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of outrageous, to be honest. Saying, "Oh, look, all those every game before this has had every Pokemon in it. This one we didn't have enough time to do all the Pokemon, so we're going to charge you an extra 30 quid for them." And it's like, wait, what? Excuse me?
I think 30 quid is pushing it. 45. I think the thing that upsets me is that they obviously knew they were going to do this at some point.
Yeah.
So, and if you think about it, if they had all of the Pokemon in the original release, like every Pokemon, the entire National Dex, if they decided to include that, and then later on say, look, we're going to bring some DLC out, but there's no new Pokemon in it, it's just a new area with some new dungeons and some new characters, nobody would give a shit. The thing that's selling this DLC to people are all of these really dope new Pokemon, and basically all of the legendaries from the last game are coming across. That's what's selling it to people. So they knew at some point that in order to sell DLC for this game, we need to include some Pokemon in it. So the only way to do that is to pull them out of the original release. So it just feels very calculated.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's what I don't like about it. On the other hand, I like the direction that it's going. I like that we're not going to get a brand new Pokemon game every year, and the fact that this could grow and grow, and there's going to be this interconnected thing with Pokemon Home coming out next week, which seems to be this kind of social hub around it all.
Yeah, you say you like it, Dan, but are you willing to pay 28 quid a year?
No, absolutely not. But
if they've released one a year, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it's modernising, and I like that. I like that it's modernising. I like that we could potentially really get attached to the game that we're playing and our parties and the characters and whatnot, if they were good characters, that is, and kind of have that keep evolving and developing and bringing new things in.
I know what you mean, making it more like a living, breathing world as opposed to... Because in my eyes, Pokemon is a game that I play solo. I literally start the game, play through it, finish it, sort of thing. But it could develop into like a... I don't know, like into more of a... like Pokemon Home, and you could have like tournaments and stuff against other players and whatnot, and just integrating online stuff.
Trying in this,
really cool.
Sorry, I didn't really interrupt you there. One of the things that they're trying in this is actual free roaming co-op. So you'll be able to play with your friends and run around dungeons and do sort of stuff like that together, which I think is really cool. I like that direction. I just don't like their business strategy with all of this. I think they should have turned around and at least owned that they'd fucked up, and not just try and play it off like nothing had happened and then sell DLC, like pretending that everyone was really happy. I think it's a bit leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I'm not happy with that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the company. Every news story I hear about the Pokemon company fills me with more and more eggy bread. Because what am I talking about? What was the last news story you said about them wanting to hunt down the people that leaked the thing? And you just like, mate, fuck off, chill out, like, come on. That's completely... Yeah, I don't know. Lots of the business side of this company is really fishy, I don't really like it, personally. But
well, they're an enterprise that own the biggest franchise on the planet, and it's weird because you associate Pokemon with being child-friendly and... just like accessible and cute and funny and cartoony and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, the Pokemon company are a massive conglomerate with like billions and billions of pounds flowing through it.
Yeah, they still need to sell a £27 DLC,
business.
Which is bonkers.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I get you. So yeah, I will move on to the next thing now.
Yeah.
Some more sad news.
Oh.
For our international listeners, of which we have thousands.
Oh, hello.
We have a high street store in the UK, which I'm going to talk about a bit, called Game, which is basically like, what do they have in America? Game Stop. That's it. It's basically the same thing. You go trade stuff in. They do second-hand deals.
Nothing like
all that kind of stuff. It's basically one of the few remaining high street retailers.
The only remaining game retailer in this country.
I think
as in solely game. Like, there's no other retailer that just does games.
Yeah, so they've had some bad news recently. They've decided that they're going to shut 40 of their stores, so we're not going to have many left, and I'm kind of a bit sad about that, to be honest.
See, I would be sad if they would actually... I mean, I'm sorry, but everybody knows that going to games is probably one of the worst things you can do to buy things. It's so bloody expensive, and the only benefit you get is that you do get the hard copies, I guess. A lot of time now it's digital download, but they've not done. I mean, considering they are the one that only game, well, like you said, like the sole game type high street store. They're not offer anything different to what you do online. I mean, you can just buy it there and then.
That's the problem, is that they don't have, from my experience, I've been to a fair few now, they used to be, okay, for example, does anyone remember Game Station?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I always preferred Game Station because you could have a chat to the people in there about games, and it was a really warm, welcoming atmosphere.
The place seemed more game-like.
Yeah, it was
more nerdy.
It was more of a hobby centre, if that makes sense. You go in, you can chat with random people about games and stuff. Game just doesn't have that feeling.
It's too
it feels too business-like. You go in, everything's black and purple. You go in, and they're just like, oh, how much is this? 30 quid. Okay, cool. Thanks. Would you like to cover that for the disc? Protect it for £1, and
all that
things like that. And you're just like, why can't you just have this customer service, like a friendly, like, I've played that. It's really good. So, like, there's a certain bit in it. You know what I mean? Like, why can't it just be more human and interactable in there? It just feels so business-like.
I think one of the problems with that might be that, I mean, for example, over Christmas. In Bluewater, the game there, the queue was near enough out the door. people don't have the time
over Christmas. We're talking about they are not short staffed. Every game I've been into has 3 or 4 members of staff and maybe 1 or 2 customers.
Actually,
like, it's not.
I had to go in there to buy a present for Effie's cousin, and we wasn't really sure because he's like a 10-year-old kid. We had to try and get one that wasn't too, well, basically wasn't 18 plus.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to think much in it. It was just a bit like just explosions, just shooting, that kind of stuff. And I couldn't really. I thought maybe like Uncharted might be quite fun because it is quite PG-esque.
Yeah.
But then it's too. You have to think too much about it. So then I asked someone, and they said, Just Cause 4.
Yeah.
There is a bit of like swearing and stuff, and it is a bit graphic, but it's not.
But that, from what you described, Just Cause is like the perfect game.
Yeah,
just explosions. Don't have to think.
I don't think the kid listens to it at all as well.
Yeah.
I guess
maybe.
Huh? He's like my prodigy.
I don't know. I feel like, okay, I fully endorse supporting local businesses, or just businesses in high street in general, because otherwise we're not going to have high streets anymore and everything's going to be online. But they need to provide something different, like you said. They can't just be a room full of games. That's it. It's not, because I can do that online, and it's significantly cheaper and easier to find things and less time consuming.
Even second-hand games are expensive.
Yeah,
I mean, their main games they don't even just sell it for 50 quid. They sell it for more than 50 quid now. They sell even controllers and stuff you buy from there are stupidly expensive when you can buy them online for cheaper.
Yeah,
and you got I do agree that it would be nice to have that kind of. But
it needs to be something different. It needs to be more of a gaming hobby place.
They did do well with when they added the
arenas.
The arenas were a good idea. From what I can gather, the one in Kingston is really successful. It's really good.
I don't know if it's successful. It's not very expensive. They don't rake in a lot of money from it.
Oh, James said they were pretty good. Then again, he works there. Maybe you never know.
Yeah. But he works there.
He does work there, so I guess he's got.
He's probably right.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's enough to save a business. If that makes sense. It's not. It's the amount of money that they need to bring in. It's even for that shop, just to have that shop open in Kingston is pretty big, and a lot of staff members and stuff. So how much money do they need to bring in to make that justifiable? I don't know. But maybe James can write in and tell us.
Yeah.
I'm sad for nostalgic reasons because I miss being a kid walking down the high street, and you got all these like clothes shops and all these furniture shops, and then suddenly there's that shining beacon of a game shop in the background, and you kind of run off and you're like, yeah, Ma'am, I want to go to game. So you go into game and you browse a little bit, and maybe you see a few things that you've not seen before, and it's just like a little gaming community hub, I guess, because you don't really see games on the high street otherwise, Yes, Game Station got ruined, and all these little independent stores are getting ruined because they can't get the licenses to sell new games. And I think it's a shame that games slowly dying out. I mean, they've only shut down 40-odd stores.
Yeah, but remember, they've shut half their stores a few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because it's going in that direction. It got bought out.
Oh my lord!
It's going in that direction, and the problem is, what's going to replace it?
Nothing. No one's going to risk it. That's the problem, because everyone.
Well, no, I mean, what's going to replace the physical stores
CEX.
when you walk down the high street?
It's the only thing CEX is the only thing that there's out there at the moment.
Maybe.
CEX, man.
It's a horrible place.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's.
You used to love CEX. You know what? I never heard of CEX until you. You took me to my first ever CEX.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the difference is, like, I'm just going to avoid that CES question. I think that, I love going to Waterstones. I don't know why. I love going to Waterstones, and me and Charlotte would always go to Waterstones and buy a book instead of order it. Even though it's cheaper to order, we would go to Waterstones because we like going there. It's nice. You can browse, and they're not stupendously expensive. They're just a few quid more, sort of thing. And you can chat to people in there. You can say, oh, what do you think of this? Or if you pick up a book that the person's read, they'll be like, oh, that's really good, that one. Yeah, there's whatever. But that experience is just not very pleasant in game anymore, in my opinion. But I mean,
yeah, I get that. Yeah. I'm with you on that. I haven't had to go for years. I'm going to move on to some slightly better news.
Yay.
So, The Witcher 3, obviously The Witcher came out on Netflix a little while ago. People seem to really like it.
I loved it.
It's caused a resurgence in the number of people playing The Witcher 3,
I
which
really want to play it.
Excites me to hear. Have you not played it, Kevin?
I've not played it, no.
Oh my god.
You have to play it, man.
You have to play it. It's it's groundbreaking. It's so amazing.
I mean, could you? I mean, it might sound a bold statement, but could you say it's probably the best game of the decade?
Some people would argue that. I would not say that simply because I don't really like the combat.
Okay. But would you say what's a better game than the decade?
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey.
No,
Mario Odyssey.
He's wrong, Kevin. Witcher 3 is. So The Witcher 3 has been resurging on Steam with the amount of players playing it presumably because of the Witcher series on Netflix, which has been received very well. Mainly because I think
it's been mixed reviews. The series.
Well,
have you watched it, Dan?
No, not yet. No, I'm waiting, but I will watch it soon. I think people are also really happy because supposedly the main actor, whose name has
Henry Cavill
escaped me. Yep, thank you. Is supposedly a big gamer, so people relate to that, and he's a memer, and he gets all the Reddit references and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if he's playing up to it just to suit their target audience, but hey, people like it.
I've heard before The Witcher that he played games.
That's pretty cool.
PC gamer.
Yeah, PC gamer, master race.
Get him on.
Get him on. Henry Cavill's going to be guesting next week, guys.
They actually, the Steam numbers are pretty remarkable. Actually,
it's mad,
jumped
isn't it?
up to 100,000 players at once, which I think is the highest it's ever had since launch.
It's higher than launch.
Well, that's even more amazing.
Yeah, it's insane.
So Witcher 3 is resurging.
It's expensive.
Good. I'm glad that more people are playing
Get it, man. Honestly, you have to get it.
Alright, once I finish New Game Plus, I'll
Alright, yeah. But if you might, do you like the combat in Batman Arkham Asylum?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll find it.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Yeah, because I wasn't a fan of that combat, which is why I struggled with Witcher combat. Yeah.
Is it all like that?
Fairly. Yeah. It's
a long game.
Yeah.
It can be my game of the year. That would be.
Yeah, no, but it's insane. Like you compare that to playing games like Fallout and things like that. It's just in a similar sort of vein where like you get plonked in the wild and there's all these little storylines you can go on, whatnot.
Okay.
But they are like the storytelling is insane, like insanely good in it in comparison to Bethesda games, especially.
It's perfect that it's doing so well just a few months before the best game of all time is going to come out as well. So
Resi 3,
yeah, I'm buzzing.
I don't see what link Witcher 3 has to Resident Evil 3 apart from the number 3, but
yeah, well,
there you go.
We'll see what wins Game of this year. I think we all know what Game of the Year is going to be already.
We haven't played it yet.
It's going to be Cyberpunk, I'm telling you.
We'll see.
That's it, really. I mean, you had some other bits and pieces, I guess, like the PlayStation 5 logo got announced, which obviously surprised everyone. Nobody could have expected it to look like it did.
Oh, but my god, it looks so cool.
What? Just a number 5?
Well, underneath, right?
What?
No.
Oh, did I might have seen a Reddit one that was like a person-made one.
Yeah, no, it's literally the same as the PS4, but with a number 5.
They just took the 4 away and put 5
no,
in
have
place.
you not? I'll post it on Instagram later. There was like a Reddit one, which was... Because you know what the PlayStation logo looks like, yeah? And so the S is the background of the P, yeah? Mm-hmm. The thing. And then they basically, like, the light, if you imagine like a shadow underneath the S, and that's the 5, because the S and the 5 can look the same.
Oh,
it looks really cool. I don't know where my phone is. I was going to show Kevin at least. Anyway, go on. Yeah.
That's all I've got. I'm sure I've missed loads of stuff because it's been a few weeks.
Nah, that was it was all juicy.
The main things.
All good.
That is what's happening in the world of gaming right now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Nintendo Switch. We can talk about that very quickly. People are rumouring that Nintendo Switch, or Nintendo are releasing a new Nintendo Switch revision. It's a big rumor, keeps coming up at the moment. People are kind of on the fence about it. Half of the experts or industry analysts think it's going to happen. The other half say it's never going to happen. Basically, they're talking about it being a magnesium alloy, like a metal Nintendo Switch, so a more premium feeling one. It might have an upgraded CPU, all that kind of stuff, really, which, I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unnecessary, but...
Yeah, I think they need... It needs some more internal works, to be honest, in my opinion.
It needs to be just come with the times, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just think a bit bigger with a bigger screen, 1080p handheld screen, maybe a nicer screen in general. Just like the pro equivalent of what the things are. Like the PS4
I don't think
Pro
any of that is necessary. I think they need to release a special dock which upscales.
Yeah, I mean, but have you seen the third-party thing you can buy, which upscales for
the
you?
M Classic?
Yeah, it does the post-processing stuff. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. That's kind of what they need to do. They need to release a cheaper, better dock that does more stuff for the big screen. Because if they release a 1080p handheld, then they're going to have to upscale all the 720p games to that anyway. Like, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. We'll see. The rumors, the leaks are saying that it's going to start manufacturing the end of the first quarter this year, so hopefully for release sort of mid to late this year before the PS5 and Xbox come out.
Oh, that's a sneaky little tactic, that is, isn't it? Get in before you get the Xbox and stuff in.
Yeah, personally, don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it'll happen.
No.
To be honest, the issue is that they don't need to. That's the thing that we need to remember, is that they're not, like you said, they're not competing with PlayStation or Xbox anyway. It's a completely different vein, and they sell where they sell, and that's going to stay the same. Like, it's not that they're not going to release the Nintendo Switch 2 and then people are going to be like, oh, should I buy a Nintendo Switch 2 or a PS5? It's never going to be like that. It's always going to be, that's the Nintendo console and that's the PlayStation console. They're always going to be different, and they're not.
Yeah.
They're never going to compete with each other per se. I don't think.
I don't really get why. I mean, you look at PS4s and Xboxes. They come out every 5 years? Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it just seems like Nintendo release things all the time, and I understand they have the. Well, no, yeah, it's all non-stop. It's all the time.
Who? Nintendo?
Yeah, I feel like they do.
I don't think so.
It's either that or I'm so out of the loop with Nintendo that to me it just seems like it comes around.
No, they've released the Wii. They've had Wii U and Switch in the last 3 consoles, but the Wii came out in.
They had the Switch. Then again, Xbox and PS4 did that, don't they? Like the Switch.
Yeah, but
the Xbox
no, but it
One
wasn't.
X
It wasn't a Pro version. It was literally. It was basically, here's the Nintendo Switch, and they released a newer version of it, which literally had a better battery life, and that was it.
Oh.
There was no it was basically like imagine like a model number on a phone. Like, that was the difference. Like,
okay.
Not like an iPhone 5 and a 5S. It wasn't like that. It was just like, here's the 5, but we've just changed the battery.
Okay,
So,
right.
like, the Wii came out in 2006, so they've had 3 consoles since 2006. That's not that much at all.
Okay, mate, alright, mate.
Yeah. I mean,
but with the DS, it's not unheard of that they would do something like this, because the DS had like the DS Lite, the DS 3D or 3DS, and then they had an XL version which was slightly more powerful. So in their handheld market, it's not unheard of to have revisions. I think they'll wait until the Switch 2, like a fully fledged new platform. But
yeah, same. I think I would just love to see some, like, I know how well they stylize their games and stuff to make them look good, but I would love to see, like, Breath of the Wild and, like, even 1440p just upscaled, just nicer. Just
look at the work they're doing with the CMU emulator at the moment. They've managed to get it running at 4K.
I've seen it at 4K. It's mad, yeah.
At like 120 FPS, like crazy frame rates.
Yeah.
It looks remarkable.
Anyway,
so there you go.
Cool.
That is all I've got for you guys. I'm going now. Goodbye.
Thank you,
Ta-ra!
Mr. Dan. So, should we? Any games coming out this week, Kev?
No, I think so.
Thank you. At least I asked.
That's all, folks.
Gosh, okay. Games that we have been playing. So it's a long period of time. I don't know. So our game of the month. So after the votes came in, from all you guys, you voted for, very annoyingly, but not annoyingly at the same time, Dark Souls 3 for our game of the month. So we all need to complete Dark Souls 3 for our Moonlight special super duper deep dive review at the end of January.
What's the date? It's 11 today, isn't it?
Yeah, we're doing fine. Turns out we all absolutely adore Dark Souls, and completing it in a month is not an issue because we're all nearly at the end now anyway. So.
I think addiction is a word that can be used right now.
Yeah, definitely.
All I think about is work is coming home to play this game. I'm like, oh, count down the hours, and I think to myself, I can make them eat my food by about 6:30, so I have a good 4 hours of gameplay now. That's just me, but
yeah. So we've all obviously been playing that. Do we want to talk about that at all?
Other than the fact that we're all really enjoying it, I don't think we should. I think we should probably leave it.
Yeah. So we'll all discuss that on our Moonlight special at the end of the month. So stay tuned for that. This PvP sucks. Okay, let's move on. Kevin, have you played anything other than Dark Souls since the last episode? We're talking 3 weeks. Have you played anything?
I played PUBG.
Oh, what?
Because my mate Callum is
also an idiot and likes the game.
he actually really does like the game.
Oh, how?
He even asked everyone today if they wanted to play it. And surprisingly enough, we did quite well. I feel like every single time I play this, I find something new that I don't like with it.
Mm-hmm.
This one being, I never realised they went cross-platform.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can have. So there's. I think my problem is there's too much. Choices in terms of how to play. So think of Call of Duty, and you have your different game modes. You have domination, search and destroy, team deathmatch, all them lot. And each of them have a certain pool of players that are playing that game. With PUBG, you have the choice of third person, first person. You have the choice of both of them,
Fourth
but then
person.
You have it with to play it on just Xbox people. You have to play it with all of the.
I don't even get why that's an option. Like, why would you want to play on Xbox versus PC players?
Yeah, I mean that's. But okay, I'm getting onto it.
Oh, okay, sorry, my bad.
And then inside of that, you have all the different maps as well that you can choose, or you can choose all the maps. And my problem is that I decided to, me personally, there's a few maps on PUBG that I don't like, particularly the deserty map.
Yeah, everyone hates that.
And the snowy map 50-50 with, because I don't really know it very well. But if you want to choose your exact things that you want to do, initially, it came up with a wait time of 1 hour.
Jesus.
To get into a game. Because there's... Obviously, I don't really know how big the game is anymore and how many people play it really, but because if you're searching for something very specific, your wait time is unbelievable. Yeah. It's such a... It's just... That... It really annoyed me. Because I'm assuming most people play this game on PC. And I don't want to play against people on PC because they are stupidly good at their game. And you can't do anywhere close to the amount as good on Xbox.
Why would you want to play it on Xbox when it runs like garbage?
Yeah, I don't get it either.
It wasn't too awful. I mean...
Yeah, but you shouldn't be playing a game thinking, it wasn't too awful. You should be thinking, this is fine. Like, it should be...
Yeah, it should be all rendered as you land, and a majority of it is rendered, but it's still a bit buggy and stuff. And for example, the new additions they have is that you can cut your parachute halfway down. You can cut your parachute whenever you want.
Wow, that's a major feature, that.
How long did it take them to put that in there? But did they put out an announcement saying, oh, big surprise coming soon, guys. Big surprise, massive changes coming.
You can jump now.
But I ended up playing... Oh no, I think me and Me and Callum played. We played quite a fair few games, and we won one, which I was quite surprised about.
Well done. Yeah.
What happened? Did the other guy glitch?
No, it was 2 against 2, and they're like these guys were on a team with each other, and for some reason one of them went this way, and the other one went this way, and me and Callum were together, and we just picked off both of them at the same time, or like individually.
One went left and one went right. By the way, for those that don't know what this way and this way.
Oh yeah, sorry. And yeah, I mean, I ended up getting I think 6 kills by the end of it, which I think is a fairly decent amount. Which I mean, the game is it's very fun when you win. I get mad pumped when I win a game in that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, winning any battle royale game's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from Fortnite.
But yeah, I mean, overall the game's a bit same old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like they add more things in that I don't like. But
yeah,
that's me. Played Super Smash Bros last night with Ben and Charlotte.
You did.
Absolutely yeeted Charlotte out the pond.
How'd it go against me, Kev?
It was. I beat you once. I didn't beat you once, did I? I thought I beat you.
No,
I got close to beating him, but
still didn't.
you know what? My biggest downfall of this game is I don't know the buttons and I fall off the edge of the map a lot.
I did something really mean when I played it yesterday.
What did you do? Did I know about it?
With Charlotte, when I was playing
Oh.
Donkey Kong. I picked up Charlotte, right, when she was playing... Oh, in the game, obviously. What was she playing? I can't remember who she was playing, but I picked her up and then just walked off the edge because I had 2 lives and she had 1. And with Donkey Kong, you can pick them up and keep walking.
Oh.
So, like, you grab them and then you can just walk them off the side. So I literally just walked off with both of us, and then I died, obviously, but she died as well. She only had 1 life and I had 2, so it's so mean. But, yeah.
That's so good. Charlotte can get angry, man, at these games.
Yeah.
Charlotte's got some secret rage inside of her.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Charlotte.
Charlotte walked in and had a... She's scary, man.
Yeah, anything else?
Mario Kart, yeah, which I thought I was fairly decent at. I've only played probably about 20 games in my life of Mario Kart, and
Hey, pretty good.
it is a fun game.
It's good.
Mildly infuriating as well, but it isn't every game. I played anything else?
I think I've no.
Yeah, I don't really. Have we played speedrunners since?
No, I don't.
We haven't spoken about speedrunners yet.
We haven't spoken about speedrunners.
Guys,
Good point.
anyone in the world that has friends that plays games, get speedrunners, because it is the most fun multiplayer type game.
We were absolutely howling when we were playing that.
Yeah,
I've
howling.
never
is the
been told
perfect
to
word.
shut up more times
Yeah.
than when I played speedrunners. I was just laughing so much.
It's just, but the essentials of the game is you get plonked on a map that you basically have to traverse through.
It's
and
like an
there's
obstacle course.
obstacle course,
basically.
yeah, and it
Side scrolling.
yeah, and it goes around in circles. And you have a grapple, a dodge, a jump, and a sprint button.
No, you just have a jump and a sprint, and then you pick up items like grapple.
No, you can grapple along, can't you?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a rope swing.
Swing, yeah.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah. And the goal is to basically get the other people that you're playing against out of the screen, because once they go out of the screen, they die.
Yeah. So like the camera follows the person in first place. So if the person in third or fourth, whatever, is far enough behind, then the screen will move further than them and they die, pretty much.
Yeah, and once you get a certain time into the game or a certain amount of laps, I'm not sure how it works that way, the screen will start getting smaller and smaller if it's tight. And it's just, I don't know, the game is so much fun. It's what is good about it is it's so simple, but so effective and good and fun.
Yeah, it's good fun. I would highly recommend as well. It's like a couple of quid. What was it, like £2?
It was something small like that, wasn't it?
On Steam.
Because we started playing Warhammer, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, I want to play a bit more of that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If we can, and then we'll talk about it a bit more, because I've got an itching to play that sort of game after Dark Souls. So I think we should play a bit more and then talk about it next week.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, I think...
That's Vermintide.
Vermintide
2, isn't
2,
it?
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, other than Dark Souls, which is,
Yeah. Cool. All right. Dan, do you want to go through yours?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of them are the same. So obviously, we all played Speedrunners together, which I thought was great. Super Smash Brothers, I've played a fair bit of now since we last played it together, Ben, and I kicked your ass.
Don't know if you did, Dan.
Nah, I mean.
Turns out Dan has not aged very well with his Super Smash skills, and I
haven't
have just
played
aged
it since
like a fine
GameCube.
wine.
You played the Wii version. I haven't played it for 15 years.
Played the 3DS version
15
as well.
years. Oh my god, see? Yeah, and also, we were both like, yeah, we've been playing it a little bit. I get to yours and you've unlocked like 50 characters, and I've unlocked about 7. Like, you played a lot more than me. You've had a lot more practice.
Yeah.
And you've had somebody to practice with, so.
That's true.
But I played a bit more of that since. I started playing the adventure mode, the World of Light, I think it's called.
Oh, the Spirit World thing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Does he
Like,
adventure
loads of
mode
stuff to
since
unlock.
GameCube?
Oh yeah, but it's better. Did you ever play the challenge mode in GameCube?
Yeah.
So the best talk to me. The best part of Super Smash Bros. On GameCube, in my opinion, you had a classic mode, which was your standard, like 8 fights or whatever with the hand thing at the end. And then there was the challenge mode, which was basically just a list of loads of challenges, and it would be like crazy versions of things. So it'd be like kill Charizard, but he's 20 foot tall.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, the whole of World of Light's like that. So the whole of the story mode in this one's basically like that. So you traverse around this map, and there's different modifiers on every battle you get into, but you can also change your own modifiers.
Well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have like these spirits, they call them, and like you level them up and get loads of different things. So for example, my one at the minute, my main one, I have a higher jump than normal, and I spawn with I do more damage with my neutral B, which is just pressing B. So with Charizard is the fire, for example.
Oh yeah.
So I do more damage with that, and I spawn with the hot curry item, which is when the fire goes around you.
Oh, okay.
So I spawn with that for like the first 20 seconds or whatever.
You go balls to the wall right at the beginning.
Yeah. But then there's like, it's really cool. There's like counters and stuff. So if enemies have different spirits of different types, so there's like attack, defense, and grapple type or something.
Okay.
And they all counter each other. So it's like a circle. So
like
attack,
rock, paper,
counters.
scissors.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So you have to make sure you have at least 3 spirits leveled up. So you get into a fight and it will say their power level 3000 for grapple. Which means
really?
you need to have a decent attack one to counter that.
Oh.
So you can't just boost your defense one, for example, because then if a grapple one comes up, even if their power level's less than yours, they counter you, sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's really interesting, and it's basically like a super expanded version of challenge mode, and it's great.
Yeah, and the map is massive,
Yeah.
and certain events will appear and things will happen to change it. And you can make choices, like you'll get to certain branches in the road, like in the overworld, where you can decide to go one way and unlock one character, or another way to unlock another one, build up your party. Yeah, it's quite a deep system. I've had quite a bit of fun with that, and I've got to a few levels which have really tested me.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was on the mic to Kevin the other night just trying to do this level.
Yeah,
This is crazy. This is harder than Dark Souls, I swear. Like this for one fight.
Yeah, I mean,
I just couldn't do it.
one thing I will say is make sure you level up your spirits using the snack things that you pick up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
because you'll be really far behind if you don't use them. So, like, for example, I am level 200 on a couple of my spirits now. Because I've used my things, my snack things, and you get so many of those snack things after every single fight you do. Just use them. Like if you use a large snack on a level 1, for example, you go up by about 30 levels straight away.
Oh, cool.
So they're really good. Use them. Otherwise, you're not going to stand a chance in most of these fights. To be honest, like I think the moment I realised I needed to use them was I had done like every fight I could. And my highest level thing, which is the one I used like from the start, was like 4,000 defense, maybe. And the next fight I needed to do was 13,000 power level. And I was just like, how on earth am I supposed to compete with that? There's no way I can compete with that. And then I remembered that you get snack things, and I leveled 3 of my things up to 200, and I still have loads of snacks left. So,
Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks indeed. Yeah, it's I I much prefer this to the old like adventure mode they had in other ones, and much better than the one that was in Brawl. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah,
it was so boring.
Yeah, it was so dead. Yeah, it was much better than that. Yeah. Anything else to say about it?
I have a lot of fun with it. I have also played. So when we were doing the voting for Game of the Year, the Winter Sales came out on Steam, and 3 of the games that were in our list were on a decent sale. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to play one of these, so I'll just pick all 3 up for like a tenner each.
Nice.
Double days.
And I played a bit of each of them. So I played a bit of Devil May Cry.
Oh, what do you think?
It's stunning. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It runs amazing, and it's super stylish. Like I love how slick it all is, and some of the really cool cutscenes. And some of the characters are cheesy, like a bit cringy, but almost intentionally, like in a funny way, like proper edgy emo type characters, but they don't take themselves too seriously, which I like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
The combat's great. I love the. I didn't realise that there were more than one playable character at all.
Yeah, they're all so different as well.
Yeah, so I unlocked like the second one, who has the summons that you control as if they're weapons, and that was really interesting. The map design is cool. It's like this classic Metroidvania type thing, I guess, where there are little hidden paths and things to unlock.
What is Metroidvania? Because you tell it quite a few times, and I never know what that is.
It's a combination of Metroid Prime and Castlevania games, which are like the old 8-bit side-scrolling things where you would progress through a level, kill some stuff, unlock an ability, go back so that you could get to a higher platform.
Oh, really?
Go through a new doorway.
Or in Blind Forest is Metroidvania.
Okay, was Hollow Knight a little bit like that?
Yeah, Hollow Knight as well. So basically, you'll reach a point in the game where you'll look at something and be like, I can't get through that thing yet. So you have to go somewhere else, unlock an ability. So say, for example, there's a platform which is too high for a single jump, so you need to unlock a double jump. So you go somewhere to unlock double jump, backtrack back to that place, and then you can double jump up there.
Oh, okay.
So basically, every time you get a new ability, it opens up more and more of the map until it all sort of...
So it's got like a little bit of an element of that, not much, just like subtle touches.
Yeah, a little smidgen of it.
Yeah. A couple of little puzzles in there to get through different doorways. But the boss fights, I love the boss fights.
Oh my god, the one in that. Have you played the one in the church? Yeah, it's right at the start.
With the floating lady or the big beast guy with the smashes down buildings.
Big beast guy that smashed down buildings. Madness.
So cool, good. Man. The boss fights are wicked, and the environment gets warped by it all as well. So they'll like cause craters in the ground, and it's just the scale of it all is so good.
I have to say though, this is probably one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Like it is,
it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Like especially the character models and how real they look, and their facial animations and the way that they talk.
And the characters are just so cool as well. Like I love the characters.
They are.
Man.
Yeah. They kind of remind me of like the cheesiness of old 80s vampire movies and stuff, like Dusk Till Dawn or
Buffy,
like Kill Bill, maybe. But some
don't think that was the vein he was going down.
Not really, Kev. Yeah, we all love Buffy, but
Kev, you'd love this.
Yeah, it looks mad.
Yeah, you'd really like it. If you like, to be honest, the fact that you like Darksiders. If you played this, it should, in theory, make you realise how bad Darksiders is in comparison to it. Because
I didn't like the most recent Darksiders. So.
What, Genesis?
I felt
I haven't played that.
3.
I felt like I sucked at the game when I first started playing it, which I obviously did. And then when I started working out the aerial combos and dashing around and kind of following up attacks and getting it's satisfying, man. I really like it.
It's really good. It's got like one of the most tried and tested combat systems out there. It's like
it's been refined really well, and I love the soundtrack as well. Didn't think I would, because it was a bit kind of hardcore, a little bit emo, but it works. It just works. It's like how I hear the girl, I can't remember her name, playing the radio in the car, and he's cranking it up, and that scene with the cigarette at the start, where he,
it's so over the top
jumps
of
out the window and like flips through the air and then comes back in through the window again.
Oh, I love it.
It's
man.
like,
but it plays off of its insane cheesiness, doesn't it? Like, it's
perfectly, exactly. That's what I love about it. Doesn't take itself seriously at all. And the other game I played, which I believe is made in the same engine, is Resident Evil 2.
Have they both made an RE engine?
I believe so.
That explains why they're both hot as fudge.
Does explain a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I played a few hours of Resi 2. It's really good. Yeah, it's good. I mean, the atmosphere is amazing.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's made me scream like a girl a couple of times.
Yep.
Which doesn't usually happen for me. One of the things with my reaction to horror games is I find most horror to be remarkably predictable. And I can always tell when they're setting something up, and jump scares just don't do it for me. I'm like, oh no, jump scare, scary. Like, I don't know.
It's too easy, jump scares. Jump scares are too easy because it's just like, oh, build up atmosphere. You haven't been jumped in a while, and out of nowhere it's just like, oh, and it's like, oh, piss off, mate.
Yeah. I can always feel them coming, but they've done it really well here. They've done the kind of the atmosphere and the horror just right. Like, there's a couple of bits.
I think it's the being very lonely in that place, and
yeah, and like you see Leon a couple of times, but you never quite get. Oh, I'm playing as Claire. Yeah, because I heard that most people were playing as Leon, so I decided to go the other way.
Oh, interesting.
So you see Leon a couple of times, but obviously you never quite get to
never get to touch and kiss.
You see each other through you see each other through a window or like through a fence or something.
It is a weird feeling, isn't it, being in that building? Like you never really feel safe. There's not really any proper safe rooms, if that makes sense. I know there is technically safe rooms, but like you just know you're always in this sort of. You don't really know what's around each corner. I don't know. It's really odd. It has really similar sort of feelings to Resi 7 in a way, where it's like you're in a house and it's just scary, man. I don't know.
I mean, even the basic enemies, like when one comes up, you have to like carefully step around it, and I mean, I haven't even met Mr. X yet, and I'm terrified now. Now that the atmosphere has kind of got to me, because I know he's coming, and they don't make that a secret. They always kind of give you this impression that something big is going to happen and something scarier is going to happen, and they never hid away the Mr. X thing at all. And I know he's around the corner, and I'm getting to the point where I'm just terrified to progress through the game now. I'm like, I'm just going to kind of hang around here with my 50 bullets.
Well, you have to complete it then. What do you think about the decision of it being a game of the year?
Hard to say at the moment. The thing that I'm worried about is that having this dude following you around and turning up every time you want to do something or fire your gun is. I get it, and I get the tension that it includes, but I feel like it might come across as really tedious and just annoying. I don't know how much to give away, but. At first you think that, but then once you understand how he works, you can kind of get the way to work around it almost. Does that make sense? Okay.
It's very, very much about map knowledge.
Because by the time he comes in, you're kind of you know where you're going, you know what's happening, you know everything about the map. Then they bring that in, and it's like you have to use your own knowledge of how to escape and where to go in order to. Yeah,
I mean, it's honestly it's genius so tension. Good. Like it's not annoying. By you're going to spend about an hour shiting yourself. Yeah. Okay, you're going to spend an hour thinking that this is horrible. I don't know how we're going to do this. Like it could be anywhere. I'm so scared, sort of thing. And then you just start gradually learning how to deal with him. You'll learn certain places where you can get away from quite easily.
Did they tell you that I mean, obviously Dan knows now that it's to do with sound, but did they tell you it's to do with sound? Because I can imagine that someone who has no idea, for example, you knew about this before, but me, if I was going in this blind, or Dan was going in this blind, you wouldn't know that it was to do with sound. So you can imagine, I can imagine it being even more worrying. In that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so you know he's attracted to sound. So if you get into any fight, get out of there as quickly as possible, basically.
Yeah, and also I guess you could use that to your advantage as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Fire a couple of shots off in a room and then run away and lure him over. That kind of thing.
Well, I wouldn't do that because you have a very limited ammo, but
Okay. I mean, it's an interesting game. I just love the atmosphere and the environments, and it's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to playing it again. I might play it after the podcast, actually.
Hey, do you reckon there's two Mr. X's?
There is on one mode, yeah.
Because
What?
if if he's playing as the girl, and then if you're playing as Leon, in the Leon game mode, in the one there's Mr. X. In the girl's version, there'll be Mr. X.
That's
I'm assuming it's all going on at the same time, meaning, bam, 2 Mr. X's. I figured it all out. That game is rubbish. I know. I've
Whatever. And what was the third game you bought?
Dark Souls.
Ah, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've played. I've bought a few others I haven't had a chance to play yet. I'm going to play Ori soon because I feel like I've left it for so long.
Get you should play that.
Picked up.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. What about you, Ben? I know you've probably got tons. So
I haven't actually.
Get on with it.
Okay. I think I've dabbled in a lot of games, but
the word dabble is lovely. Dabble.
Can you leave me alone?
Sorry.
Just join the call.
Yeah, who is that?
Someone join the call?
Yeah, I just want to double. Apparently, someone's joined the call.
So we have Ben. It's Praise the Pickle, the other account.
Oh, okay. My Mac's closed. I don't know how it's happened. That's fine. Okay. Right. So the games that I have been playing, I've played Dark Souls 3, which I'm really enjoying, but we'll talk about that at the end of the month. Apart from one aspect of it. I've been playing Super Smash Brothers, which I adore. It is the best version of this game, and it is just amazing. It's so tight, such a good game, man. And you can just play it with anyone. I just love playing it with people. I love the fact that I have this game and people can come around and be like, "Want to play some Smash?" And it's just like, oh, it's so good.
Well, because I bought it for you for Christmas, right? So I bought Mario Kart.
Oh, did you?
And then. Yeah, and before they shipped it, I was looking at the order, and I was like, and I was thinking back to some of the stuff that you'd said, and then I remembered you saying you'd 100%ed one of the other ones, and I was like, nah, man, I think you can get Mario Kart later. I think Smash is more.
You made the right choice.
What you would enjoy. Yeah. Sounds like it. Yeah, sounds like it.
And then me and Charlotte bought Mario Kart after Christmas anyway, because we were babysitting Charlotte's nieces, so. We wanted a game that we could all play together, and Super Smash is... Could you imagine trying to teach 3 nieces, like young girls, how to play Super Smash? It would be a mission. So we bought Mario Kart, and we completely rinsed it in one day. We probably played every single cup about 5 times, so a bit sick to death of Mario Kart right now, but it is a very, very good game. I wouldn't say it's worth... You can tell it's a remake, put it that way, does that make sense? It feels a little bit empty in a way. Does that make sense? Kind of, yeah. It doesn't feel like there's enough content for it to be justified the full price tag.
Is it? Have they got a story mode for it?
No.
They haven't got
just
story
those
mode?
cups that you saw yesterday.
Okay, no. See, I feel like a story mode is needed in that kind of thing. I think it'd be good to know how to.
I don't know.
Okay, imagine playing this game on your own. And there's no actual
I get but
goal, no accomplishment.
I would never buy this game to play by myself anyway. No. It's a multiplayer game.
But some people, if some people, for example, me, I might enjoy this game, and if I didn't have anyone to play with, going around doing all these cups, playing against a computer would be just dry.
Well, then you wouldn't enjoy them, would you?
No, but then that's why I think, that should cater for everyone. I think
very selfish. Up to you, okay?
Very selfish, Nintendo.
I played. So after I am on the biggest Witcher hype going. I'm part of the problem as to the reason that the Witcher 3's numbers have gone up so high. So I've been playing. So I watched this. Me and Charlotte watched the series, loved it. Then we bought the book and Charlotte read it, and now I'm reading it about halfway through. And we've been playing The Witcher. Well, I've been playing The Witcher 3 as well, and I'm enjoying it a lot more than I was before.
Did you start again?
No. I've started it again twice already, so I didn't want to start it again. Again.
Have you got? How far into it are you? Where are you?
I finished the Bloody Baron quest line finally.
Oh wow! So you're not even that far into it.
No, not really. No, I'm doing like all the side quests and everything, and I'm just loving it. I just love the world. So you haven't got
to my favourite scene yet, the Priscilla scene.
No, not yet. I'm not that far at all into it, to be honest. But I'm taking my time on purpose because I just love the world. I love the random things you encounter, and every single bloody monster contract. You know, when you go and you get the contracts to kill a certain monster, they're all so interesting. Like,
I don't think I missed a single one because I just loved.
It's so good. Yeah,
finding out about them.
It's just like the monster design is amazing. Like how much thought has gone into that creature and the reason they're doing what they're doing, and
Yeah, and why they live in that area.
Yeah.
Even like the way that they fit into the environment, it just feels natural.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
That's why I was expecting the TV series to have a lot more monsters, but there was only like a fair few that they ended up fighting.
It was, but to be fair, it was quite short.
It was
the
short,
series, yeah.
surprisingly.
So there was only so much. I'm glad that there wasn't that many monsters in it, because otherwise they would all be too brief. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there's the Kikimora right at the start, which is the spider, ugly looking thing, and the
there was that
Skriga.
weird, well, yeah, what? Oh.
The woman turns into a thing.
Yeah, and then there's that weird like one that I think ends up dying to sunlight. Maybe does he die?
Oh, when he hides in the coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Is that him?
Skriga or whatever. Yeah. But there wasn't too much to make it too like overwhelming. It wasn't just like, oh look, monsters. It was just like there was a few with really good stories around them, and it's literally identical to the book.
Is it anything to do with the Witcher 3?
No, this is set.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So the book, the series is based off the short stories in the very first Witcher book, which is one I'm reading, called The Last Wish. And they've done it really well, to be honest. And yeah, love it. Won't talk about it anymore because Dan hasn't seen the series yet. So,
cool.
I've also been playing a game called Heave Ho.
Hell yes, we played that. Yeah.
Yep. Heave Ho is so fun. It's so good. We should try it again today. Try it again. We haven't played it, have you? No. It's basically you start off and you're a ball with two arms, right? And you have to get to the end of the level, okay? And you can grab with your two hands. That's it. Right? You've probably seen it somewhere.
No, I was thinking the guy with the axe.
No, oh god, no, not Ben Fonnett's getting over it. No. It's basically both of you have to get to the end to finish that level.
Oh, okay.
And you can like swing each other, and
really?
It's like using teamwork with your hands. So you grab each other's hand, and then one of you grab onto the floor and push the other one up, and then you could swing the other one onto another platform.
Does it sound like Cuphead? Yeah, you like Cuphead?
Nothing like Cuphead. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'll show you it today, but it's really, really fun. Me and Charlotte loved it. Me, Charlotte, and Dan played it together and loved it, and it's just such a funny, like, light-hearted but challenging at the same time game. And mistakes happen so often. Because all it takes is for one person to forget to hold down a button, and suddenly you drop both your teammates
let go of
into the
everybody
depths.
else.
It's so good.
Oh, is it a free player as well?
It's 4-player. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Dang, man,
Where
how
you
was your
at,
meals
then?
How was your meal last night? Was it really worth missing this coming together?
How was my
How
what?
was your meal last night?
Oh, yeah, it was good.
Terrible, wasn't it? Yeah, I know.
It was terrible. Yeah.
I
hope it left a bitter taste in your
fridge.
mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
I'm joking. And the last game I've played, I haven't played enough of this to be able to sort of talk about it enough. But it's Nier Automata.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's not
Whereabouts
tomato for people that are...
It's Nier Automata. I don't know how I feel about this game yet.
Give it a chance.
I'm trying, I really am, but I'm struggling because I'm playing like such epic games. Otherwise, if that makes sense.
Nier is an epic game. Trust me.
I know it could be. It just feels really odd. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It feels really strange. The combat feels a bit lacking. But not. The combat feels really cool, but a bit lacking at the same time. It's hard to explain. It just feels a bit dead.
Wow. Okay.
Brilliant.
But I'm gonna play more because I think I'm wrong. I just think I
What
wasn't.
boss have you got to?
I haven't faced any bosses. No, I have. I faced a big one in the ocean.
Oh, dude, you've barely scraped the surface.
I know. That's why I don't want to talk about it, because I don't. At the moment, my review wouldn't be negative. It just wouldn't be great. So like, I don't really want to talk about it and say, oh, it's a pile of crap, and then play it more and be like, I was so wrong. Because I imagine it probably is very good. So
just don't take out your central processing unit.
Oh, but then don't I have one playthrough completed if I do that?
That's true. Yeah. So Kevin, you're basically an android, right? and you're made up of like all these different modules, so you can take things out and put things in. You know, one might give you extra attack, and one might make you jump higher, that kind of stuff. One of them is like your central processing unit, and you can literally take it out, and your character just dies, and it's the end of your playthrough.
If anything, that's quite a cool little thing, actually.
It is, yeah. It's a really interesting game.
Yeah, it's cool.
I have to say, but I will play it more. It's just very hard to play when the other two games I'm playing at the minute are Witcher 3 and Dark Souls 3. Like that, do you know what I mean? You're playing two of the best games going.
And there's only so many hours as well.
Yeah, and Nier just falls shy of those two at the minute. So, but
I would put it on the back burner, maybe, and play through The Witcher first.
Yeah.
Focus on that, and at least get most of the way through that, and then pick up this, because it's a very different game. And I think for you especially, you and Charlotte will love the characters and the story, and the music is insane.
The music's really cool.
So good. Yeah. Oh, it gets better than just cool, man. It's one of the most beautiful soundtracks in gaming history.
Say that about a lot of things.
So good.
It's a big statement.
No. This is like up there with the best, like for sure. It's an epic. But then it's an actual epic.
What's it called? That Gris had a good one.
Gris was really good, but it wasn't like a 3-hour orchestra of some of the most heartfelt, beautiful music you've ever heard.
I'm sure when Doom Eternal, that's coming out. Forgot about that. That'd be quite a good game.
Yeah, that would be good, but I mean, it's not going to be up there with Cyberpunk and thingy.
Well, at least we already know that game has a good soundtrack. So,
cheers, Jake.
Cheers, Jake.
All right, that's it. The only other thing I've got, Charlotte's bought Dragon Quest 11 for the Switch.
Is that the one that came on?
Oh,
you were playing when we turned the Wii on. There was a game already on there. Like Knights and stuff.
Oh no, that's Banner Saga. I haven't really played any of that yet. So
okay.
I've played.
I can see her enjoying Dragon Quest. Actually,
yeah, same.
It's
yeah.
Ghibli vibes and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so she's gonna be playing that, and we'll get her on to talk about that at some point when she's played a bit more. And we also bought a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I mean, that's not a game, but just wanted to say that it is a really nice controller.
Is that the Xbox controller-esque one?
Yeah. I love it. I think it feels amazing. Like, especially next to the Joy-Cons, it's like night and day.
It kind of takes away from the Switch way, though.
How?
Because it's basically an Xbox controller. Like, Switch is so unique about itself, and now you're actually getting literally a controller.
I don't understand what you mean.
But you don't use it when it's handheld.
Yeah?
You keep the Switch all connected, you put it into the dock, and then you pick up your Pro controller and go sit on your sofa.
Yeah, so you're basically playing on an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the one thing I've always liked about Switch and stuff, because there's such a different way of holding things, using things. Like the nunchucks, like holding it with two hands and...
Yeah, it depends what you're playing.
What are you on about, Kevin? What are you on about?
If you're just playing an RPG
I'll be honest with you, I've only ever played Mario games on Switch, so I can imagine a different game maybe. You might understand that.
Even for most Mario games, if you're not really using motion controls, there's no reason to have the nunchucks.
Well, yeah, maybe.
God.
I don't know.
Anyway, the Pro controller feels amazing, and it's very, like Dan said, if you're playing, the Joy-Cons are great as remote controllers, as in like for when you're playing the Switch and remote.
Oh no, you don't have tennis, do you?
No. But so you know, if you're playing it on the train or whatever, it's a great system that way. But it's so nice coming home, just sliding it into the dock and picking up the Pro controller, and just like it feels like a proper home console now. You have to take off all the controllers from the Switch and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that bit I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
all right. Cheers for your support.
I'll rest my case.
So that. Yeah, I would highly recommend people get the Pro controller if you can afford it. It's quite expensive, but I mean, it's no more expensive than an Xbox controller, so it's good. That's it. We done.
Wow, that's under 2 hours.
Yeah, it's like hour 45, isn't it? We took a 10-minute break when the internet died.
Considering there's been 3 weeks worth, it's kind of...
Yeah, we'll get back into the swing of it. There'll be more news. Remember, there'll be more feedback, hopefully. Speaking of feedback,
oh yeah, young man.
If people wanna, love us, share their thoughts on some games.
Yeah.
Complain at you for not playing Witcher 3 yet. Complain at you for not playing Skyrim yet. Complain at you for not playing Ori and the Blind Forest yet. Complain at you for not playing Hollow Knight yet. Complain at you for not playing a million really good games yet.
And telling us how they think about Detention. Detention, guys. Remember?
Yes, or tell us what they think about our recommendation this week of Detention. If you played it before, or you're going to play it, or you're currently playing it. Yeah, if they want to do any of those things, Kevin, how do they do it?
Well, on all platforms except from Instagram, it's Praise a Pickle. Just search it, find us. Or Instagram is Praise a Pickle Podcast. Or if you want to be like our happy pickler, email us at praisepicklepodcast@gmail.com.
Nice. And please leave us a review and rating on iTunes. We'd really, really appreciate it, and do appreciate everyone that's done it so far. And follow us on Instagram just to know what's going on with our
we'll be. You know what? You can see. I think there'll be a few pictures coming up soon. There'll also be that picture of the PS5, maybe.
If I can find it, the concept one that someone else made, but. Yeah, we're going to try and post a lot more. That's our podcast New Year's resolution, is just to get more on the social media hype. So,
and even if you could, I know it's a bit of a stretch, and I know it's more increase as a word I want to use. I don't know if it's the right word, but kind of going more into your personal life, even like retweeting or reposting what we put up to just get our name out there. I know it's more going into your own personal life, but from what I've seen so far, that kind of stuff actually has gone a long way. Especially when I know when Vicky did it, we got a lot of feedback from it all, and every little helps.
That's enough pleading for one day. So
yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, me and Ben are on our hands and knees right now, guys.
Yeah, literally. So thank you very much for listening. Pickle Squad out.
Yeah. Goodbye, Picklers.
Goodbye. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All that stuff.
Bye. Toodles. Farewell.
Pickle.
Pickle.
Bye.
Pickle.